Hey everybody, the time's come to purchase new yard tools. The Craftsman mower I got from Sears something like 10 years ago has the Briggs & Stratton engine that runs great, but the rest of it is destroyed and it doesn't self-propel anymore. The Black & Decker trimmer was cheap when I got it. The string would never feed. The battery has a capacity of 15 minutes if it's not a hot day. And now the trigger barely works. The mower and the trimmer did teach me one thing. I think I'm going all electric for yard tools. Did some research, started with Lowe's. I found the Ego had great reviews. I like that all the batteries are interchangeable, and the Memorial Day sales are here, so I can get it for $5.99. I'm always looking for a new brand, and I decided to go with Ego this time, try it out for a while. Lowe's had two Ego mowers in stock, the 800 and the 600 series. The only differences are torque and the select cut blade that the 800 series has. In theory, I could have got the 600 series for $150 less, but in reality, I'm lazy and I don't like doing yard work. And where I live, it's 90 to 100 degrees in the summertime and rains a lot, so while I'm sitting on my butt in the air conditioner, the grass is growing fast. My thinking is that the higher torque and the select cut blade of the 800 series will hopefully make my job easier. Plus, I'm already too cheap to pay someone to mow the yard, so the extra torque will pay for itself. According to the website, both the 600 and 800 series mowers have a run time of 60 minutes and are good for a yard size of 1/4 acre to a half acre. I have a 1/4 acre, including the house, so I spec the mower for that, knowing that the battery is going to lose capacity over time, and I don't want to have to wait for a battery to charge. So I chose to go with the 800 series select cut with the touch drive. It's the 56 volt, 7.5 amp battery, and I decided to go all in and get the blower and trimmer too, which was $50 off. So let's talk about batteries for a minute. I had some concerns with battery-operated tools from building my porch. My rigid drill batteries operated in 98 degrees and sunlight would shut down, and I'd have to put them in the refrigerator for 30 minutes before I could even get them to charge up again. It seems like Ego has attempted to address this problem with its lithium arc design to maximize cooling of the cells. Per Ego, you should get 800 to 1,000 cycles with 60% of original capacity, and the batteries can last up to 10 years. I also love that all their batteries work on all their tools, so I can take this mower battery and run the trimmer and blower. Now, the Ego site does state that the rapid charger that came with the mower can lead to some reduction in the battery's life cycle. So I'll be charging it with the standard charger that came with the blower and trimmer combo, unless I'm in a pinch and need some battery fast. The batteries come with a 2-year warranty, and that goes up to 3 if you register it with Ego. Ego says you can leave them on the charger without doing any damage to the battery. That's good to know, but I don't think I'll be doing that for battery exploding concerns. There's a document with all this tech stuff. I'll post a link to it. It's a good read. I learned a lot. So here's what I got at the store. Got the mower, the trimmer, and the blower combo. The mower was $5.99, $100 off. The blower and the trimmer, $279, $50 off. Put it on the card, got 5% off. Total was $944. Didn't intend on spending that when I went to the store, but I did it. So in the box we have the bag, the side discharge, the rapid charger, the high lift blade for the bag. This is the extended runtime lower blade. And then on the mower itself, let's see, picking it up by the handle here. The mulching blade was already installed on it. So I'm gonna go with that. So let's see. In the trimmer, it also came with a charger. That's the standard charger. And that's pretty much it with that. Came with some string, yeah. So let's take a look at this mower real quick. Gotta lift the handle here. So let's get this thing going here. Gotta say, really love that you can grab this sucker by the handle. I don't know if I would grab it by that handle, but grab it by the real handle and it stacks up out of the way like so. So let's put it down. Now before you start it, you gotta lift the latch. Gotta make sure you extend the handle. Lock it in place. Put the battery in, of course. There's a little rubber piece right there on these contacts you have to take off first. Push it in, make sure your battery is charged. Close the lid and then hit the power button on the handle. Right now I have the mulching bag in there, or mulching insert in there. If you want to do the side discharge, slide it into those tabs and drop the lid down on it and it stays. Haven't tried out the side discharge yet. The string trimmer thing kicks some butt. Blower's pretty awesome too. You have this, you can set the dial to just run at any speed, or you can just go with the trigger mode, and then trigger in high mode. It does the job quite well. The trimmer, I have to say, also I did some edging with it that needed to be done for about a year, and it kind of didn't have any problem with that. The trimmer's awesome. I did think at the time that I was getting, I think they call it the split shaft, where you can insert other tools into it. Turns out that's a different tool entirely and a bit more expensive. I think the attachments end up going from like $150 to $180. I wasn't prepared to spend that kind of money just yet. I can do what I need to do with a trimmer, I think. Although I really wanted the pulse saw, but maybe next time. So that's the whole package. The power was better than my gas mower. Usually when I let the grass get up to 6 inches, it would bog down. But this thing had no problem. Guessing it helped because the blades were new and sharp, but I think the select cut system may have helped some too. If I ever do find it struggling, I might try the side discharge and slow speed setting and see if that helps. You can set the touch go to 0.9 miles per hour all the way up to 3.1 miles per hour. When I got near the end of the yard, I realized I only had 2 5 lights on the battery charge, and because it got dark, I was also using the headlights. Rather than risk running out of battery, I decided not to use the touch drive. And that's when I realized that this thing was so light at 55 pounds that I didn't even need the touch drive. This is due to the polycarbonate deck. I will miss being able to carelessly smash into tree stumps and roots like I could with the old steel deck, but I'll have to get used to not doing that anymore. Happy to announce that I finished the yard and the battery never went below 2 bars from the 20 minutes earlier. There was some scalp grass due to some uneven terrain left by the tree trucks that came. I think some bigger rear tires would have helped with that. The vertical handle adjustment were pretty good for getting under my trampoline, which I never could do before. The headlights seemed to shine bright on the top of the deck lid, but not the grass. That was a bit disappointing. Not sure yet if I like the placement of the touch drive button. It kind of started hurting my thumbs after a while, and once I forgot it was there and grabbed the handle to move it, and it leaped forward and smashed into my house. Maybe after some time I'll get used to it.
Well, that didn't take long. This thing gets pretty dirty, but it cut this yard with no problem.
So it's weekend number 2. I had to mow the yard again because it's 6 inches again. And I decided to put it on the 2-inch setting because I don't want to have to mow every week. And that's when this happened.
Guess because I bogged it down several times in the yard, I didn't make it through the whole yard this time on one battery charge. So I had to put it on charge, go do a little bit of weed eating, came back, finished it up. No big deal. Also hit a rock or something in the yard pretty hard. It shot across the yard and hit the basketball goal with a loud ding. I didn't see any visible damage to the deck until I turned it upside down, and then I noticed that there was a little nick in the plastic. So hopefully it can handle many more of those. So that concludes the review. I think the mower will work just fine once I learn its limitations. The trimmer and the blower, not much to say about that. Plenty of power with the trimmer. Plenty of power with the blower. Don't regret a single thing. Thanks for watching.